So weird coming into a game show. I have no idea what the...
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I'm in the same position as you, George, and here we are. It's ESEA, the European Invite League. We've come to the game you all want to see pretty late, so no introductions. I'm Richard Lewis from Cadbury.org. It's George Hoods G. Yeah, you were just listening to us. We haven't gone anywhere. And this is VeryGames Ninjas in Pyjamas, the top two teams in the league going head-to-head for a game that pretty much will decide who's going to top the league. And VeryGames are 4-2 up. We were told it was 3-0 when we were connecting. I think that was a very optimistic NiP fan, probably. And here we are anyway. So Kenny S going to be spamming his AWP, making it work outside. Two great kills from him, straight into the play-by-play. Loving it. Scream. We saw him lock down ramp earlier today against Absolute Legend. So do keep your eye on that. Kenny S with the first two kills. But NiP, of course, they just do not know how to lose. They haven't lost a competitive map at LAN, and they haven't lost in ESEA's league. And in fact, the games that they did lose, people have got some serious questions about the legitimacy of those results, but we're not going to go into that right now. VeryGames will definitely need this to have any chance of finishing top because of the result against M Faculty. And Smith's coming up huge with two great headshots there. Freiberg's going to answer back and pushing into this upper area, delayed. Knows that there's one there. He's waiting for the guy at Peak Crows. Going to have a little spam with this Galil. Hasn't quite worked out for him. It's Kenny S. So Kenny S is just going to work that peak, and he is going to pick it up. Great from Kenny S to get that spam. And just forced Freiberg to shoot with that shoulder peak. So 3-man for him. And Steve Smith, and that's going to make it 5-2 for VeryGames. Quick look at the frag charts, George, just while we're about to go over some tactical analysis. And you see Kenny S having a good game so far, it seems. Not that we've seen it, but 7 kills, 5 deaths, and it's Get Right. Who else on 6 kills and 6 deaths at the top for NiP? So, George, you were about to say something. What did you notice there?
Did NiP win the pistol and then get ecoed? It looks maybe like that. But anyway, VeryGames have got their setup perfect for how NiP like to do things. From the games I've watched of NiP, they love to work outside, they love to control lower, and the VeryGames setup is very much based around teams that like to do that. Kenny S in the snipe area, just watching the outside, spamming the smokes. You got Smith who rotates down lower. Yeah, it's just a very nice setup. But you can't break the VeryGames anywhere, it seems, on that set. So NiP, what they can do, maybe try and go one-on-one with Kenny S. He's facing quite aggressively from that sniper area. So maybe if they work that pick first and then work something into main, could be an option. But it'll be interesting to see how the game develops. As I say, we haven't seen much of it.
Well, MBK just mopping up that Swedish eco, not literally, of course. They didn't type killing console, but you know what I mean. And Ninjas in Pyjamas, again, we're seeing it again. 5 AKs, no AWP. No one going head-to-head with Kenny S. Which, I don't know, if you compare the various merits of Fifth Laren and Kenny S, maybe that's a consideration they've factored in, and they've decided it's not worth competing against him. But VeryGames are looking strong. Of course, it is the CT half. We already talked about the inherent biases on DE Nuke, even on this SE version that was optimized by Volcano for competitive play. NiP know that they need to pick up this buy round, and one of the things that NiP do excellently is they adapt to their opponents. They get a feel for them, and if you want to see evidence of this, you just got to look at the demos from DreamHack when they were against Mouse Sports, and they were something like 9-0 down at one point and came back to win that game. MBK, though, is going to get that first kill. Kenny S is going to get another one. MBK is going to weigh in with a double. Once again, the Swedes are just getting absolutely massacred on this upper bomb site. Scream is going to take down Forest, and then MBK is going to get another. So back-to-back 3-man for him. 7 rounds to 2. For VeryGames, so 9 rounds down in the first half. NiP are going to have to do something pretty soon if they want to pick up.
Nice adaptation. No, nice adaptation onto VeryGames. They tried to go up a NiP and send the Forest backstabbing outside. He did do the special jump onto yellow. I didn't think Kenny S was smoked out in nest there, so he was able to pick up a kill with Scream Smiths very quickly, and yeah, that's all she wrote. So, and you see Kenny S is now mixing it up, going aggressive outside into the garage, so that's nice.
So let's see what's happening. You can see MBK not on upper this time. Scream's going to get 1. Is it going to be 3? It is. 1, 2, and 3. Another 3-man on ramp. That's why you don't go ramp, NiP, because VeryGames are there. And of course, They had such a tough time of it the week before, and MBK's looking really good at the moment. Freiburg, again, last man standing for NiP. They had such a tough time of it, losing to N Faculty in overtime. The VOD of that is available on Cadred. Check it out. You won't believe your eyes. But Freiburg, last man standing. They know he's going to rotate to this ramp area. Kenny S has got the orb. I don't fancy Freiburg to do too much here. He wisely going for the jump. I'm not too sure if he should just save the gun. He probably should have done. 8-2, so 10 rounds in. VeryGames having the better of it. Kenny S open from the back of that area, and I think, George, that might force NiP into an eco. No? Actually, I'm wrong.
No, they've lost so many rounds in a row. Like, I think they can pretty much buy every round right now. But the thing is,
yeah, you're right.
NiP did a really nice strat there. They tried to go upper. Well, they went upper. They tried to sell the fake and then go ramp, and that allowed two things. If they got into ramp, they could have gone up ladder, or the guys in upper could have gone lower. Yeah, VeryGames just making the frags right now. So, and it's interesting to see how NiP will adapt, because they haven't really been in this back to the wall situation before. So, be interesting to see what they do.
Well, certainly not since DreamHack, but absolutely right, George. They need to start thinking about what they're going to do. I mean, look, they're going to have absolute supreme confidence in their CT half, no doubt about that, especially on a map that's inherently biased, while Scream picks up another kill on the ramp area, but it's going to be a lot to do if they can't pick up a few more rounds here, and there's only 5 left, and this is one of them, so they're already in a 3v5 situation, the Swedes, so they need to start picking up some kills. Fiflaren going into the spray isn't going to get the kill, but then he is on Kenny S. That nade's going to come in and do a little bit of damage to Fiflaren. Scream, though, once again, just locking down the ramp, and he is going to get that headshot on Zizd. Get Right's going to take him down. Smith's going to stop that wraparound from Fiflaren, and then MBK, of course, going to get another headshot on to Get Right to make it 9 rounds to 2. Again, we'll just have a quick look at how the frags are panning out. Look at that from MBK. 15 kills, 5 deaths. Monstrous performance from him. Scream just behind. And Get Right still top with 7 kills and 10 deaths. Zizd, for a change, down at the bottom there, 4 and 9. 11 rounds played, and I'm just going to stay with the play-by-play, George. I will bring you in the next round just to get your thoughts about it, because, of course, as you rightly pointed out, they can afford to do these double buys. So even though they're losing the rounds, they've still got AKs, although there is one Gallo there, once again for Freiburg. Don't know what he's doing with his money. It looks like, he's a designated flash buyer, that's why. But you can see as well, they've just pushed out on the upper quite aggressively, NiP. MBK, though, he's locking that down. He's made upper his bitch. Forrest is going to take him out of the equation, though, and in the meantime, Scream's going to wrap around. He's going to get that kill. That's going to force them to rotate to the ramp area, NiP. And what are they going to do there? Kenny S up in Crows. VeryGames have just got this map. It just seems to be locked down. No matter where you go, there's someone there. But Scream got a little bit ahead of himself and allowed Fiflaren to get the kill. That's going to be hugely important. It makes it a 3v3 situation, although VeryGames a lot stronger in terms of health. Zizd, for example, on just 20 HP. Fiflaren on 46. And you can see they're just creeping around. There's 40 seconds on the clock. NiP are just looking. Next kill, huge. The bomb is going down, though. It's going to force VeryGames into a rotate. Smith is going to come through vent. NiP's going to get the next kill, but Smith's going to answer back immediately. Zizd, of course, remember, he's only got 20 HP. Freiburg going to be spraying down. It was Smith who took a headshot from that Galil. He's now on 6 HP. So Existence going to go spamming through that door. Everyone's so low on HP, and in the end, it's Smiths and Existence get their shit together, and they're going to pick up the kill. It's going to make it 10 rounds to 2 with this defuse here. Incredible play from VG. Just when it looked like NiP had done enough to secure the round, in the end, they managed to man up and do what needed to be done, and I've never seen a team kind of do this to NiP.
Yeah, interesting. Some people messaging me as well. What do you think about? Do you think they're hiding things for Vienna? And do you think if you're hiding things for Vienna, if you give VG a win like this by hiding stuff, does that give them confidence? And I wouldn't like to.
It's an interesting question. NiP don't strike me. NiP have always said, whenever we've interviewed them, that they don't play with set strats. They play against their opponents. They wait and see what their opponent's doing. So I don't think they're hiding anything, because I don't think they're that kind of team to sit down with a playbook and really come up with stuff. They have a default, and then they run plays based on what their opponents do. They mirror their opponents. They've always said that. So are they saving things for Vienna? Absolutely not. What you've got to give credit to here is the VeryGames setup. It is like, I mean, if it was football, it would be Catenaccio. It is the padlock. There's just no getting through it at the moment. And not even the mighty NiP can find a way through. What's going to be interesting is when we switch halves, because I'm pretty sure NiP are capable of doing a shutout on this map as well. So we'll wait and see. But there's still 3 rounds left to go.
Himself into a really nice.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. It's directors quickly move me to Smith. Existence is going to take down Ziz. Get Right's going to come from main, get that one, but Freiburg's going to answer another one. So they have gotten upper now, but MBK's there again. I don't know if they should just avoid MBK altogether because he's just going absolutely mental. Smith jumps up, he gets another kill, and then Scream's going to rotate round and get another one. It's 11 rounds to 2, and MBK is on fire on upper, by the way. I mean, we've been talking about all these other great players. I know Nathan's had so much criticism, which always strikes me as odd, but he has locked down that upper bomb site, and the statistics speak for themselves.
Yep, and NiP are working themselves into these great positions, and they seem to be favouring trying to split this upper. And the problem is that VeryGames are playing all around that. You've got Kenny and the sniper, you've got MBK on the floor. It's very hard to counter. So it'd be nice to see NiP trying, instead of going low, trying to work their way underneath the ladder and work a boost or something similar to ESEA pissed around. That might break them. But right now, VeryGames are hitting their shots as well, so it's very hard to break them.
You can see Existence is going for a spam off there through the walls on upper, and taking a little bit of damage for it. Zista's going to try and go ramp and does, so Screamer's out the equation. That's the good news. Existence is going to get that spam though, and Kenny S, you kill one of VeryGames and another one pops up and takes your head off. You can see what Kenny S just did to Ziz there. So it's on Freiburg. He's going to get the spray down on the Smiths. So it's tit for tat this round, pretty even. Actually, NiP have the slight health advantage because Kenny S did take some fire. So he's only on 66 HP. What are NiP going to do? They've been in this position before, and VeryGames have emerged victorious. But this is NiP that we're talking about. They do not lose games. It's just that simple. And Forrest is going to get that kill. That's going to prove to be hugely important, but they've gone up Crows, and MBK is going to get the opportunity, and in the end it's MBK that's going to pick up 2, and Existence is going to pick up the last, although I'm pretty sure MBK had it covered. It's 12 rounds to 2. And at the moment, there's just nothing you can do. You cannot stop NBK at the moment. So, George, I am going to come to you. We're going to have a little chat at half-time, I promise. But it's the last round of the half. It's crucially important. VeryGames, their dander is up. Their tails are in the air. They are bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, all of the cliches. They could be getting a 13-2 lead here. NiP have got a bye round, of course. Money strangely secure, despite the number of rounds that they've hemorrhaged. And what are they going to do with it? Can they at least get a third round? Kenny S says, no, you shall not pass. He's locked down outside. Takes down the mighty Forest. And again, we've seen some great intergenerational thing. We've seen Pimp owning Neo. We're now seeing Kenny S owning Forest. Young players coming through in this game against the old veterans. Both of them got plenty of plus points to talk about, plenty of attributes, and it's great to see finally a merged Counter-Strike scene where we can talk about those things. But anyway, that's an abstract concept. There's much more pressing matters. NiP have managed to get Fiflar and lower, so again, he's in a strange position, but Kenny S is going to pick up another kill on Freiburg. Smith's going to pick up another one. It's not going to happen for NiP. And then MBK just says, you know what, I can go wherever I want, kill whoever I want. Get Right's going to try and get the kill. He is going to get Existence, who drops down. It's going to be called. It's all on Get Right. 9 HP. Smith's going to get the kill. 13-2 to VeryGames. George, can you believe what I am saying?
No, it's yeah, great half from VeryGames. They play the CT setup they've got right now is just amazing. They're playing so tight together in like almost like 2-3 guys everywhere. So if you want to go ramp, you're facing Scream and Smiths and Kenny S because he rotates. If you want to go upper, you've got 3 upper. If you want to go outside, Kenny S can get the pick, and then you've got the rotations around. So, and all the decisions went against NiP. NiP had a 3-on-3. They decided to go up ladder. All of VeryGames were in upper. Another round, they go lower. Smiths picks off 2 of them. It's right now the CT setup is not what you'd normally see, but it's great from them. And
well,
yeah,
last
NiP have got
week,
to find a way back.
last week we talked about VeryGames, that loss to N Faculty in overtime, 1917 I think it was. And we said, oh, you know, it's the patch that's caused it. Well, the only thing that's happened between now and then is the Deagle's been nerfed, and yeah, that did play one round quite hilariously when QK Mantis destroyed Existence, who had an auto sniper with a running one bullet. But I'm just wondering if VeryGames just underestimated the Germans, because here we are, and they are really sticking it to undoubtedly the best team in the world. And there was a lot of questions raised about whether VeryGames had the right balance. They've already destroyed absolute legends tonight. If they take this pistol, they are potentially in line for a 16-2 win over NiP, which was, it's inconceivable what we're about to see. So,
And a place in the Dallas finals, right?
oh, well, I think that goes without saying anyway. I think they've done enough to secure it, because, of course, the only game they have lost was that one when Faculty. I made a faux pas earlier when I said there was 2 unbeaten teams coming head-to-head. You'll have to forgive me for that. I do tend to get a bit of verbal diarrhea when I get excited about a wonderful night of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which I just love so very much. But anyway...
It'd be interesting to see if VeryGames run up like they did versus Absolute Legends.
Yeah, it would take some balls of steel, but why not? Why not? And, well, it looks like we've got a ramp push. NiP flashing, smoking. They are going to get that first kill, make that the second. So Fifth Laren is answering back, but Scream's going to get 1-on-1. Great reactions from Scream. He's managed to make it 2 kills. Smiths, I was going to say, got that one. Managed to make it 2 kills, and Smith follows it up. So it's a 2v2 situation. NiP are not having it all their own way here. They didn't shut down the ramp that they used to. And while Smiths and Scream are low, so's Freiburg. So it's on Zizd. You can see Freiburg is out of the way at the moment, just waiting to see if they push under ladder. And of course, VG can go anywhere from ramp. So they're going to exchange. Zizd is going to have to drop back because he knows he's low. He knows Smiths is low as well, but if he's the one doing the peeking, he's the one that can get caught out. So Zizd is going to go around here to this window side. He's going to go back to vents, is he? And of course, Freiburg... Yeah, I was going to say, Freiburg's got to be patient, because if he pushes too early, then that can happen, and it's Scream with his 3rd kill. Freiburg is going to take down Scream, though, so it's all on this. Pretty much. He does, well, that's going to give his position away. Not sure Smith should have done that, especially because it looks like Freiburg's got a nade. That is going to take him down. That flash isn't going to do anything. Freiburg's going to win that 1v1. Huge within the context of the game. That NiP pick up this pistol round to make it 13-3. So, George, again, talk me through it. I thought VG were going to win.
Well, VG, basically, they tried to sell the fake of them like they did versus Absolute Legends, just going up it. Instead, they just tried to up straight ramp. NiP were there. Then got into 2v2, but the problem is, Exist, he tried to face and kill the bomber to make it a 1v1, but by doing that, he got picked off and forced a 1v2, which is kind of risky, but Freiburg came up clutch, so anything's possible from here. I mean, NiP have got a very good CT sides. Be interesting to see what VeryGames do now.
Well, for me, what's going to come into it, it's going to be nerves. It's going to be a matter of psychology, because if NiP can do what they're going to do and shut down a few rounds, just like they're going to do in these ecos, which I'm happily going to talk over as we move towards 13-5, then it's going to be like VeryGames is going to be thinking we've got a great lead here. And as that lead is just eaten away and eaten away and eaten away by NiP winning rounds as CT, are VeryGames going to be able to retain that confidence? And you can see they've bought AK, so I'm saying it's going to be 13-5. It's an early buy. They're not interested in locking it down to get that AWP for Kenny S. Is this going to catch NiP out? Is this going to catch them off guard? We shall see. So Smith's going very fast outside. There's going to be contact, and that's going to give away the fact that they have got guns pretty soon. But VG have taken some damage in the process of trying to get into some good positions nice and fast. They've got the smokes going in. Fifth Laren it is who's holding the ramp area. Going to be interesting because, of course, Scream will probably fancy his chances from picking it from the other side, because he's going to know the angles. That's his position for VG. That's where he's slotted into. And you see VG taking lots of damage. No kills as of yet. NiP relatively unmolested. Now they're going to push through the smoke. NiP are going to get the first kill on Existence. Make that another 2. Fifth Laren, Forest weighing in. 2 each. And then Smiths, who's outside, he's missed all the fun. And now he's in a 1v5 situation. Things looking bleak. So they managed to shut them down on a buy round as if it was an eco. And that means we probably are going to see an eco now. In fact, I'd wager we are. So instead of 13-5, we're heading towards 13-6, George.
Yeah, and you saw VeryGames try and group up and go ramp there and just run into two of them. And NiP are playing almost similar to VG setup, very compact. Again, be interesting to see if KennyS takes the AWP, trying to work the picks outside. But NiP are very set up for the teams trying to walk under ladder and boost, like ESEA were doing. NiP are ready for that. They had two there, so yeah, not really a lot of options for VG. They can go lower, they can try and force upper fakes. Just have to see how it pans out. But I think the more rounds VG lose, the more likely it is NiP to shut it out, because NiP will just gain confidence in VG. They haven't been in this situation before against NiP in CSGO.
You're absolutely right, and they just shut down that eco round, as you would expect from the best team in the world. So much so when we ran our Cadred Awards, which there's still time to vote in, we didn't even give you another option for anyone to vote for. It just felt kind of insulting. So, and I've got a bit of a weird invisible model thing going on. I haven't seen that bug for a while. Ah, yes. Well, anyway, we'll ignore that. Hopefully that he'll come back at some point. And it's now obviously the buy round for VG. And KennyS has got that up. That's what I was waiting to see, because I feel that that's going to be so important. We haven't seen many terrorist sides pick up an AWP. VG are going to be the first to really do it, and they've certainly got somebody that can use it. So Ziz, just to stop the fast rush on Hut, did deploy a Molotov, which, while it's been nerfed, it's still a luxury if you've got the money, absolutely right, to use it. And VG here are going to show some real discipline.
And
yeah, go on.
This is what I like about NiP. They use their smoke so efficiently. They instantly shut down any instant pushes or picks. So they shut down KennyS's AWP, they shut down any picks on ramp, and they just use their smokes and Molotov really well. So that's what makes NiP so hard to penetrate as a CT.
Well, I have got the invisible model bug. You can see that Get Right's making kills from spawn on the stream. So I thought they'd fix that bug. I can't even commentate on what's going on. I'm going to have to reconnect, I think. It seems to be the only way.
Yeah, so now you see NiP just winning all the aim. So it's Get Right's making the frags, this is making the frags, and yeah, KennyS, they tried to blow open the door and make the main pick like you would in Source. Obviously in Source you open it, you don't blow it up, but instantly they knew KennyS was doing it and they just smoked off the squeaky. Forrest has got a really nice smoke for ramp. He throws it in that corner, and that just allows Fiflaran to face ramp freely and take anyone out. As you can see, he's throwing it right now. That's a brilliant little smoke. So yeah, NiP just really good at shutting down any instant pushes, and their team play is just fantastic as well. So, and you see VG sort of forcing out a buy with AKs and one Galil, so maybe a little bit nervous.
Yeah, and I think they will be nervous, and rightly so. Existence is going to get that first kill for them, but it's a trade because Get Right's well positioned.
And that's great.
Yeah, just on that, what a position to be in, and he's going to get another one. Just starting to make the aim work for him. Scream's going to out-aim him, so that's going to give him a bit of confidence. Still a 3v2 situation for NiP, and they see Freiberg just spraying through that smoke, gets the impression that there's going to be someone there. Scream's going to fall down outside, run down these back stairs, and he's going to be ably backed up by KennyS, who's got that bomb, so they are taking the bomb lower. Zizd is going to rotate outside, and he's going to call that they're not there, they're not holding it, so that's going to give them the inkling that they could possibly be going lower, so I'm expecting some contact to occur very soon. KennyS just waiting to see if they're getting followed, and he's going to go to the door side, so all very quiet, all very tense, but of course VG are going to have to go and get this bomb down. He's gone for the fake, and well, that's well played by KennyS. Makes that Galil work, but he needs to get off the bomb now. Didn't in time, and Fiflaran's going to pick up that kill, which leaves an absolutely awful situation for Scream to be in a 1v2 situation, but he has to plant the bomb with no time left. He's not going to make it, obviously, and in the end he is going to pick up Freiberg. I thought he was going to get taken down there. He's just going to hide and flick his knife, so that's going to make it 13-8, and VeryGames were in a promising position at one point in that round, George.
Yeah, the thing is, VeryGames started using their aggressive aim, went aggressive through the smokes, got the frag, but the thing that was so great about NiP is, if you kill one of them, the refrag is always there or thereabouts, and Get Right's holding back steps, so their setup is to stop teams that trying to go underneath the ladder, like ESEA, like VeryGames just did. Even though they got the frag, they instantly got refrag, because you don't expect a guy hiding where old back steps was, so great play by NiP, and yeah.
Absolutely right, and Get Right was just in a brilliant position there. You can see the Scream's the only one, because obviously he saved his rifle from the last round, the only one with a gun, VG on an eco. So we'll see if Scream can actually put that to any good use, but it's going to be so very hard. And this is the situation I was talking about, George, where they're getting to that moment where it's like, right, we're 13-8, we were 13-2. We really need to start picking up a round by any means, and it is going to prey on your mind. And you can see why. Like Forest just absolutely chopping down VeryGames players outside the back. Kenny S is going to get a pistol kill. Forest is going to take down the danger man of Scream with the rifle, and that's going to make it 13 rounds to 9. So the all-important buy round coming in. And if VeryGames lose this and it goes 13-10, and then they have the equal again, it's 13-11. It's going to be so hard for them to really think, you know, oh my God, we're going to throw this away. But NiP are just that good. They never flap, they never get worried. No matter what situation they're in, they always know they've got the tools to get the job done. And that's why they are the world #1. But VeryGames can still win this game. They've got to dig deep. And looks like we've got some sort of aggressive HUD strat going on. Those flashes are going out, but Get Right isn't blind, or certainly not enough that he didn't know what was happening. He's going to get 2 kills. Zizda's going to answer back immediately. Scream's going to get 1. You can see as well, Zizda's going to just wrap around, mop up the kills, while Scream in Existence is going to pick up the other 2. And that fast strat, well, is pretty easily shut down, isn't it, George?
Yeah, and there's something that was so great about that. You saw Freiburg flashing instantly. As soon as that door blows up, you saw him flashing instantly into it, allowing Get Right to get the 2 frags. And I was actually going to say that maybe the old sort of door rush from Source, where you just flash through the hut window, might have benefited VeryGames a few rounds ago. But that round, instead of having Forest and Get Right defensive, he went through main as well as Freiburg. And the one round they try and go upper, they're just red, and yeah. There's more people. There's 2 people going through main that just shut them down.
Looks like we've got a fast ramp now, so Fifth Laren with it to do, and perhaps they feel they can have some joy against Fifth Laren. Obviously, he's the kind of mastermind. Not never been a frag and Get Right with just a 1 bullet on Kenny S outside. You will not be getting any wraparound frags, Kenny. So it's a 4v4 all of a sudden, but VeryGames are in a good position. They have managed to make it lower, and Freiburg's going to pick up 1. Forrest is going to be doing the rotate behind. You see where Freiburg is, so he's going to pick up another 1. Is it going to be 3? No, Smiths is going to take him down, but that gives Forrest time to wrap around. You can see where he came from. Dropped down the vents, and he got the kill on Smith, so now it's Scream with it all to do. He's getting crab clawed from 2 directions. It is 13-11, just like we thought it might be, and VeryGames yet to pick up a terrorist round, so it's a case right now from NiP of anything you can do, we can do better. And another eco coming in. Oh no, I'm wrong. I've called it wrong again. Not for the first time. I thought for a minute there VG weren't going to buy.
No,
but
they've lost so many.
Yeah, they are going to buy.
They can keep buying eggs.
So well, in that case, I'm going to stay with it, and we're going to see if VG can break this duck, because they certainly need to. If they were to lose this game 16-13, they're going to absolutely want to kill themselves afterwards. Scream's going to get that entry pick, while Freiburg is going to get first blood. Ziz, he's going to get 1. Existence is going to answer back. Forrest is going to get another 1. And Kenny S has got himself into a good position here. He's just having a look around. He needs to stop that pen. Oh my God, Fifth Laren has somehow made that ridiculous kill on the ladder, and that is demoralising to say the least. Scream in another 1v3 situation. The last one didn't go his way. And certainly if you're going to make any form of clutch, this is the hardest team to do it against. Flicks to Get Right's head. He's going to trade AK, so he doesn't need to reload. Couldn't make it count against Forest. It is 13-12, and VeryGames are just not able to find a way through NiP at the moment, George. So, is there anything they can do? Is there anything you would do? If you were captain, what would you be calling?
Well, basically right now, they can keep buying and trying these fast rounds, or they can slow the game down completely, maybe take an eco, maybe get an ult. And just, I think, going back to working outside again. I mean, they did get the entry frag, and they know now that Get Right can be around that area, and so why not try the outside thing again and try and work the frags?
Well, good
As I say
nades
that,
going
the
in.
double
Yeah, I was
nade
going to say,
comes-
why
so-
not? And that's why, because Get Right's there. And he's going to get a 3-man. He's going to make off 2 brilliant headshots and a nade kill. Completely, it just makes it look so easy, the game. Fiflaren now, growing in confidence at ramp. He's going to get a kill. And this game's going to go tie. It's going to be a tied game. Again, this is all on screen to do something special. He gets 1, gets 2, getting shot in the back. Can't do it all by himself, lads. It is 13 all. And NiP are just running away with this at the moment. Got so much momentum going into this now, and I just don't see what
VeryGames
VeryGames
need
can
to
do.
slow it down.
Well, I mean,
VeryGames just slow it down and try and
if
work the
they
pick on
do slow it
Fiflaren
down, though,
or-
George, aren't NiP just going to go aggressive and push them? Because again, when you've got that momentum going forward, and it looks like you can't lose, you know, who's to say? Why would slowing it down work, in your opinion?
Because if you slow it down, you can just you hold for the pushes, you hold for the nades. So anything they want to do aggressive, you just completely shut out. You can hold the smokes, so you're not trying to run through smokes blind, and just try and work the frags. And like for example, right now, if you're holding, like you can get right, but obviously not an eco,
You can't, well,
especially with aim like that. Jesus.
You
But
just
still,
can't. You just can't get right, can you? And there you go. It's
They need to
14-13.
look at what
I can't believe, though, it's just incredible what NiP have done here. Literally, I know you're probably going to be watching it and thinking, oh, this is VeryGames playing bad. VeryGames realistically haven't done a lot wrong. They were 13-2 up if you have just joined us, and now they're 14-13 down. That was an eco, and you can see we've got the old slip and slide ghost models on the terrorists because of the joys of Go TV. I'm not going to reconnect because I literally feel by the time I reconnect, this game could be over one way or another. We'll see how it's going to pan out. Anyway, Existence going for the spam just through that ramp room. Not happening. Sorry, not ramp room, through squeaky door. Kenny S looks like he's been taken down to 19 HP. Get Right is down to 4 though, so can VG convert that into a kill and make it work in their favour? And at the moment, they're too scared to face VeryGames. They are going for the spams. It's not a bad idea the way that this has gone. Like I say, from 13-2 to 14-13. NiP too strong, as 1.6s might say. An Existence now getting those flashes off in the ramp. Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like they're going to go ramp. You can see Smith as well as... Yeah, Smith is going to wrap round on the outside, so they've pushed, they've got the kill on Forest, they've managed to get the kill on Get Right as well, so this is looking like VeryGames. If they are going to get around, it's going to have to be now. Freiberg in the spray off with Smiths, but he's very low as a result of it, so it's a 4v3, but Freiberg all but dead, and you can see as more and more people joining the Go TV, the lag is coming in, so sorry about the warping around, there's not really a lot we can do about it. Wouldn't surprise me if there was a DDoS coming in as well at some point. That's the game's had everything but that. But look at this from Ziz, totally turning it round with a 3-man and a 4-man. Ridiculous play to go to match point. Absolutely ridiculous from him. NiP do not have any right to win that round, and all of a sudden they're now at match point on 15-13. I just cannot believe what I'm seeing. George, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm just going to pretend you're not there because I've got a feeling we're about to see one of the great comebacks. And again, it's that team NiP. But anyway, who knows? Maybe VeryGames can force an overtime. Maybe this game can get even more epic than what we've seen. A game of two halves, literally, in every sense of the phrase. So you can see as well, we've got people joining the server as well, trying to express their views. Vacom, love a bit of cheap advertising, and VeryGames, I don't know what they do in their free time, I'm not going to answer it, but Get Right is going to get the kill on Smith's MBK. Is he going to face Fiflaren here? He's going to pop that smoke down, going to flash through that smoke. Fiflaren's just going to drop counter smoke, no problem. Smart thing to do, and while that happens, Forrest is going to get another kill. Things looking grim for VeryGames. Someone is going to have to come up huge. Can it be Existence? No, he's shut down immediately by Freiberg after getting that kill. It's a 4v2 situation. Made that a 4v3. MBK's patience pays off, but he's the last man standing. He's probably been the best for VeryGames. Can he do something special to keep them in this game? No, he can't. It is probably the most ridiculous comeback I have seen in ages. Possibly the most ridiculous comeback I've seen in Go. And from 13-2 down, NiP come back to win it 16-13 against VeryGames. George, where to begin with that game? What are your first thoughts? Let's talk about it.
This is crazy. Like, the thing is, now you've got some situations. It's like if NiP were saving anything T-side for Vienna, yeah. Now they've just built extreme confidence by being able to come back 13 rounds is CT side. So everything about that game just goes in favour of NiP entirely. Like VG worked himself into a really good position CT side. They locked him out. Pissed around could have gone either way, 2v2. Actually a 2v1, which Fiber clutched on 26 HP. And then all the decisions went against them. They realised that ramp was obviously a good place to hit against Fifth Laren because there was only one guy there. They forced him down lower several times and got the frags. But then they went under nest I think twice and got shut down by Exist both times. And then outside they made 2 good plays and then Get Right made the refrags 2 or 3 rounds in a row. So yeah, everything went against them on the T side, and towards the end, as the round and the confidence built from NiP, Get Right, you saw him pushing almost onto T roof and making the frags on people doing flashes. You saw Forest getting aggressive. You saw this getting aggressive in the hut. So yeah, and you can't, once NiP get confidence like that, especially with their run this year and not even a map's been taken off them, you can't let them get into that situation really. And
well, what does it do to VeryGames? Because they're never going to have a better chance to beat NiP than being 13-2 up. And they fluffed it. They fluffed their lines big time.
Well, they can take the positives from CT side. It is a very CT heavy map, so they can obviously they obviously play a great CT side, and they can take that as positives. But at the end of the day, it was more about NiP's not so much their team play, but the individual brilliance of Get Right on some rounds, Forest, and then Exist on those 2 rounds where he got the 4 mounds. It's like, that's the thing with NiP. They've always got that possibility to make that brilliance, even if they're on struggling team play wise or they're being outplayed team play wise. So, but VG are getting closer. From I think it was Valencia the first time they faced off to now. They're getting tighter and tighter games, and I think Scream could have been more of a presence in the second half versus them. Use him a bit more, and maybe Kenny S with the AWP. I'm not sure. Like a lot of teams are opting not to AWP T side, which is fair enough. But versus certain teams that play back and not so aggressive, like NiP for example, where they had the 2 defensive, maybe working the AWP picks would have been a good idea. Yeah, just well played by them really.
Yeah, I can't believe that happened. I really felt like VeryGames were going to take it, and it just is incredible to think that they've thrown that away, and they'll be absolutely gutted about it. That is going to secure a top spot in the league for NiP. I've got no doubt about that. I can't see any other team beating them between now and the close of the league. We've got one more game to come tonight, which just to let everyone who's listening should know, and that is it's going to be Virtus Pro versus Asus. So that's going to be the kind of Ukrainian-Russian mix taking on the Spaniards. Last time we saw the Spaniards, they got absolutely decimated. I think it was by an Nexus. I think it was 16-2. A little bit of an embarrassing a result from them, and it was pretty awful. Virtus Pro, though, have climbed the ladder, and they are now up to 3rd, if you can believe it or not. They've been doing really well. So it should be a Virtus Pro win, but you never can tell, especially with the update coming in. We're going to quickly restart the stream. That game's due to start in the next 5 minutes. We are going to cast it, so do stay tuned to the stream. We'll be right back, and maybe we'll have time to pick up some of your questions and address some of the things you've been saying in the Twitch TV chat. Anyway, do stick around for Virtus Pro and Asus next.